Hi, this is June 5th, 2018. I just got finished exercising and I'm at the library right now. So if you hear all that music, that is because they have um, a violinist there. So um, that is what is going on right now. I said I was going to make a video and I keep getting interrupted, and I had a lot of stuff going on, and I had another client to deal with, and which is something that I love to do. Um, and yeah, that's part of my job, so I couldn't do it. So I'm here now. I'm here now. I wanted to talk about my hair. That's how you can tell it's still wet from all that running and sweating and all that other stuff in water. And yeah, okay. So I wanted to talk about killing Goliath, because a lot of people have been talking about this season of overcoming obstacles and things that are going on, not only in the physical realm but in the realm of the spirit. And many of us understand it's a problem, and we overcome it, but we don't understand why we have to conquer it and take it down. So I know I've been quiet, but sometimes I have to listen to the spirit. The spirit will lead you on what you need to say and how you need to say it and what to be prepared for when you are in this realm. Okay, so give me 1 second. Family search. Okay, so I stopped talking because it was somebody that was next to me that I just really wasn't feeling their spirit. I wasn't feeling where it was coming from. And you have to be very careful when you get into this realm. When you get into this realm, there are some people who don't like to see good things happen. And you have to be very careful. There's some people who really don't understand what you are talking about, and they will get confused. So you have to be very careful over what you say, how you say it, and when you say it, you know. So that's what made me kind of stop a little bit and give myself some space. Okay, back to killing Goliath. Okay, David had understood that there was a problem. There was a problem that needed to be addressed. Okay, Goliath was a terror. He was an obstacle. You know, he was a physical terror, but not only that, it was in the spiritual. You know, he was a spiritual aggressor. He put a lot of fear in people, a lot of things that you cannot see. You know, you can't see fear. You can see it, the manifestation of it, but you can't really see fear. You can't see terror. You can't see inferiority. You can't see that. You can see the manifestation of it afterwards, but you can't see that spirit. And that was a lot of things that Goliath brought to that land. Him and Goliath and his army. Goliath was a giant that terrorized the people, David's people. And David was called by God, but he also, because of that, he had to acknowledge some things. So he acknowledged that Goliath was a problem and that someone needed to do something. So he had a call to action. And he acknowledged that. He also acknowledged that although he could not overtake Goliath because of his strength. He knew that it was something lying inside of him that was greater and stronger than him, that can overtake and overpower Goliath. So he acknowledged the situation. He acknowledged that Goliath was a problem and he needs to be eliminated. He also acknowledged that it was something that, in order to overtake him, it had to be something greater than him or Goliath to overpower, to conquer it and take over Goliath. Um, he also knew that what he did determined the fate of his people. What he did, his actions, determined the outcome of his people. I'm quite sure that if Goliath never tormented David's people, he wouldn't have never attacked them back. He would have never answered the call and attacked back. And if you look in the history books, you can see, not only the Bible, but other history books, you can see that most people, if they see things, usually the first reaction is not to attack it unless it comes to them, you know. Most people don't come out to harm anyone unless they're coming for them, or they're standing up. So that's the first thing. Also, David knew it was something that was greater than him, that was going to help him and guide him during the battle. But David assessed the situation and saw that he was not skilled like most of the soldiers that came to prepare in battle with Goliath. Goliath was known as a skilled warrior, a warrior of death, okay? A true warrior of death. And in order to beat someone, you have to be stronger. You just have to be stronger, whether physically or spiritually. And David was not physically stronger than Goliath. Everyone knew that, okay? So David used what he knew. He knew it was something bigger than him. He changed his mindset. And he said, if this happens, I can do this because I know it's something greater in me. That's where you get greater is he that is in me than he that is of the world, okay? So David looks and he says, what can I use? Based off of what I know, what can I use to defeat Goliath? He wasn't skilled like all the other soldiers, okay? And this is how God got the glory, truly. David had a slingshot. He used that slingshot as his weapon. And if you notice in the Bible, you see people were mocking him. When you use stuff different and people don't understand it, they were mocking David, because they're like, how in the world can he defeat a giant who's killed skilled people? He's skilled, he's killed skilled warriors that's been trained for ages in the best warrior schools and the best trainings. And this little kid who has nothing but a slingshot is here saying that he's going to defeat this giant that's been terrorizing people for so long. And the people that he came to save and deliver were mocking David. But David knew that he had changed his mindset, and he had opened the portals and opened the windows for the blessing to come out, okay? So as David's swinging this slingshot, even Goliath is laughing, because he's cocked up. He has pride, this is where pride came in, and David was humble. Goliath was prideful, and that's when the defeat came in. If Goliath probably would have been humble and thought like, hey, be careful of this person, he probably would be living and still living. But he didn't. He let his guard down. And David, with all his belief and his faith, took that slingshot and said, this is what I know. This is what I know. this is what God has applied me for. I haven't defeated a giant yet, but I have defeated a bear, and that bear was a giant in my life. You know, David had other conquests, but he never fought a giant that big. He fought a giant the size of a bear that was a giant in his life, and he defeated him with his bare hands. You know, and he was a tiny person. And David takes a slingshot, knocks him right with that stone. And as big and bold and strong and mighty and powerful as that evil power Goliath was, he fell. Not only did he do that, David understood that. God gave him the wisdom to understand that. Yes, I'm smaller, but there's a way to defeat every obstacle that comes in your life. But you got to understand that that obstacle has an opportunity, because he is strong. He is a powerful force. You can't just let it just run over your life, because if given the opportunity, if Goliath was to get up, he's got more of a vengeance, more of a power to take him out, okay? He's going to try to take him out, because not only has he's a giant and he's a terror, but David has put him to shame, has sent him embarrassment. Now he's got to face the fact that he is not strong. Everyone knows that he can be knocked down. He's been defeated by someone who was smaller than him. Not even a windsel of strength that Goliath has, okay? And this little tiny boy has taken him out. So David is still humble. He understands that power, that not only that he has defeated him, but he needs to conquer him. So he knows he has to get rid of him, because if he gets up, he's going to definitely kill David, okay? Because David, remember, David is not strong in that area. David is strong spiritually. He's opened the portals and the windows to be helped by God, and God answered his prayers, because he knew that his heart was clear, his mind was clear, and he was to save his people. He was a savior for his people at that time. You know, God was using him, and a lot of people don't understand that about saviors. And I don't want to say, like, you know, they are the saviors. Some people, God will send people to open up windows for other people to pass through. So yeah, okay. So David looks around and he says, I have to take him out, because I understand this process. He's strong. He will come back. I brought him to shame. So he has to kill him. David has no experience with a sword, with a warrior sword. But he sees it on the ground. He understands the principle that warriors kill their enemies because they don't want to come back and deal with it anymore. He takes the sword that was meant for destruction and was meant for his head. Because remember, he was going against Goliath. Goliath was going to use that sword against him. You know, a warrior just doesn't come with a sword not to use it. And he takes the sword and he slits his throat. And Goliath is dead. Okay? You're like, why did you go all the way 12, 13, 14 minutes talking about this story? I say this because a lot of people, including myself, had to deal with obstacles, okay, and hardships, and a lot of them we have overcame, and I had to understand this. But if you do not kill that obstacle, it will come back and back and back until you deal with that situation. Now, your situation may not be dealing with a physical Goliath. It might be dealing with some financial issues, so that you will not be tempted to settle for someone else's bad habits or bad errors. It might be you dealing with a job that you know that is not good for you. So God might be telling you to get some training, get more training, go to school and get more of an education to branch off into the area that he wants you to go to, okay? It might just be you with your health, and you love to eat sweets, but it's killing you. And then you get healthy because you start eating healthy, but then you go back because you're around the same people who have the same mindset as It doesn't matter. You know, God is going to heal me anyway, even though he gave you the principles to eat sensible, to eat healthy, and it told you that. And now you're wondering why you're going back in this situation again. Now you got diabetes, hypertension, all this other crazy stuff, okay? That might be your Goliath. Hey, it's one of my clients. So that might be your Goliath. My point I want to make to you is that you have to attack it. And not only attack it, once you overcome it, conquer it, kill it. Say, no more will I let you run in my life. No more would I let diabetes come and take my kids or take my family. No more would I let, iniquity stop me from what is designed in my life. No more would I let doubt and fear and terror come and take my joy. I had to come to the conclusion of that. So, and I'm saying this not to get likes, not to make anyone happy. This is something that I had to live out for myself. Something I had to live out for myself, because the moment I acknowledged it and the moment I was able to see, this is the spirit that's attacking me. I've had a spirit of terror that's really terrorizing me, because I'm really kind of a strong-willed person, and I didn't understand what was going on, and once I started facing my demons and facing my mindsets, facing everything that came with it, because sometimes we get programmed because of the situations that we're in, the situations that we had to endure. You have these coping mechanisms that you're like, okay, I had one for myself where I felt like I couldn't do certain things. I only can go to this certain level, like a spirit of limitations. And I literally had to pray this off of me, that I can only go this far because this is what I've been taught. And then when you get outside and then you see, even though me going out, I still had that spirit of limitation, because my mindset hadn't changed. I knew that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, but when he started taking me higher and higher and higher, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's too much, Then you get fearful because of the responsibilities. So, like I said, I'm saying this not for likes or anything like that. I'm saying this because I went through it, and hopefully it will help someone else in their walk. Because we're getting to a time and a place, if you don't understand yourself, you will get led astray. You will be so out of it, okay? You will be so out of it. The only thing that kept me was God. The only thing that kept me during this whole time was God. And I promised God, I said, if I get up out of this time, I'm giving you the glory. I'm going to give you the glory. Well, I always say that anyway, in every situation. And I try to do that to the best of my ability, because I know that nothing that I got was from me, So, yeah. Killing Goliath. Understand, in order to kill your Goliath, you have to acknowledge that there is a problem. There is something that happened. Acknowledge it. Second, make a decision. It is when you acknowledge something, either you're going to have a call to action or a call to decease. And if you have a call to decease, understand that it will eat you. I tried to do that too, because you get fearful. The call to action is not an easy task. It's not an easy task at all. And people, when they say, oh, this person had a call to action, this is that. Anytime you're doing something that is good, that is doing for the betterment of other people's lives, you will get attacked. Not only physically, but spiritually. Definitely spiritually, okay? Sometimes you have to stand alone and understand, knowing who God is in your life, who you are in Him. It was tough, that call to action. So once you understand that, do the next thing that David did. Understand it. What is it that you are given, that God has given you, that you are good at? You're not gonna find whatever, looking at other people, you're not gonna find how to attack your issues from somebody else's story. Now, it might be somebody that got to bring you to that's close to, that has a story similar to yours. But if you understand it and you acknowledge it, the only thing that's going to help you conquer it is something that God has already given you. Okay? It's something that is deep down inside of you. I went around a lot of people who had some issues about homelessness. Had a lot of issues, people who overcame it, and they told me about it. But what happened to me and what God showed me was something, and just what he did with David, I just kept reading the Bible. And it was something that God had put in me, and I needed to bring it out. My thing is love, and it's not what people say love and this is tolerating everything. No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't listen to that. That's a fake love, okay? Because love is chastisement, okay? It tells you in the Bible, God will chastise those that he loves. He ain't chastising people that he don't love, who are not of him. He's not. Because you made your decision. You see what I'm saying? But because we're not as wise, as the seed of the enemy, we do crazy stuff. And God puts us in line. And once you understand that, you'll be able to make amends and prosper and do the things that you are designed and created to do. So that's another thing. Find whatever your talent is. And your talent, it might be physical, like something like playing the piano or the symphony, as you can see down there. It might be. Or it might be something spiritual. Maybe it's melodies of the heart, God used my pain as a melody to go and bring. I've always been in media, arts. So God used that. God used my brokenness to do that. Not only that, apply it and go hard and believe. Change your mindset. David had to change his mindset. And in order to win it, in order to conquer something, you have to believe it. You have to believe it with all your heart and all your soul and all your spirit. No matter who is around you, no matter what they say, no matter what it looks like, just keep going. It looked like I wasn't even going to make it, but I did. And not only that, I conquered it. Not only that, when you see that your demon or what your obstacle has failed and it's fallen on the ground, don't just look at it and say, hey, I've overcame you. You have to conquer it. You have to kill it. You have to give it no life. Cut off its life supply. Give it no space. Give it no space in your life, so that when it comes back, it knows that it's not coming back. In the Bible, it talks about how spirits come and they have no house and they have no residence, but they come and attack people. And that when it's cast out, it goes into dry places because it needs a body, it needs a host. And it goes into dry places. And when it finds out it's none, they try to come back. Just like if Goliath would have got back up, David knew he would have came back for him because he's embarrassed. The spirits are saying, hey, now I know. Because spirits, I'm telling you, the spiritual realm, they understand, especially of darkness, they understand that, or people who are evil, period. They don't even have to be spiritual. You just common sense know, okay? If I'm trying to attack this person, and I'm a bully, and I got a whole posse, and this little person beat me up, guess what? Either I'm going to be his friend, join him, because I'm fearful of him, and I'm going to join him and try to make him come and get, turn evil, or I'm going to get more people, just like the spirits do, more spirits, demonic spirits, and try to attack it. So you have to be aware. You have to be spiritually aware to kill it. And say no more. You have no more rights here. You came here illegally. You have no legal right to come in me and attack what I am designed to do. And once it understands that, because the spiritual realm speaks, it really does, then it has to leave. and you won't see it a lot. You know, you have more power than you think. So that's my topic. I said my topic. That's my thing on killing Goliath. I kind of want to hurry up and get done because a lot of people are like listening, and that's good. Hopefully, you know, something I said or done will help them too, in their spiritual walk. But a lot of people were listening, and I'm at the library. So yeah, hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Remember how to kill Goliath. If you apply that to every situation that you go through, I promise you, you will be victorious. You will be victorious, okay? I don't care if somebody is seeing all this stuff. You have to apply these principles. You have to apply. The Bible is nothing about, you know, how much you carry it in your hand, how loud you can sing, how much you can shout, how many you can quote scriptures and look good and have everybody, you know, talking about. No, this is about spiritual warfare, okay? That's what you get these words and all of that. That's about, and the power behind it. If you want to be successful in any avenue, you have obstacles, whether you are a believer or not. Apply these principles, and you will be victorious. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Thank you.